Welcome back, everybody. Happy Saturday night to you all. Thanks for tuning in. Like the stream. 2 minutes late. First time ever, I think. Won't happen again. I hold myself to a much higher standard than that, and didn't come through for you guys tonight. But I will going forward. I absolutely will. That is a promise. All right, I slipped up. I don't make the same mistake twice. All right, one thing about me. So we're going to do some Dynasty startup mock drafts tonight, as we always do on Saturdays. We're going to have an absolute blast. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. We got Joe Blacko in the chat. Best time of the week. My friend, I could not agree more. I could not agree more. We got some news. Unfortunately, a man I have been, obviously I've only been in the content game for this offseason, but I've been a big Rashee Rice bull for a long time. Have always liked his value and always felt he's been undervalued on the market. And it's really unfortunate that he wants to throw away the gift that he has been given, or what he has worked for. Isn't this the dream? Isn't this what you play, your whole life to do, and now you want to fuck it up? A little strange to me. We're going to get into mock. I'm going to throw this in the chat right now. Get this thing filled up. Free account on flockfantasy.com, and you can join the mock. Easy peasy. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Joe Blacko asking if Rice is the new Josh Gordon. God, I hope not. I mean, the laws around marijuana use now are obviously much different than they have been in the past. Lou in the building. How's it going, brother? Joe traded McBride for Rice and Bucky just a few weeks ago. Honestly, Joe, if you're panicking, I would say don't panic. Okay? It's going to be all right. I think it'll be okay. I will talk through my thorough thoughts in a second here. Aldi, what's going on, brother? Wild Dog in the house. Mr. Stacks is in the building. Scribbles, what is going on? Mark, thanks for hanging out. While this thing fills up, I do have the post pulled up here. So this is from Matt Foster. Tuesday, was it? Chiefs wide receiver violated his probation after testing positive for marijuana. Rice has been ordered to serve 30 days in jail. Meanwhile, he will miss the Chiefs' OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Now, I want to briefly just explain the situation for anybody who isn't, as in the weeds as I am in terms of, finding as much information as they possibly can on Twitter and wherever else, and listening to a ton of people much smarter than I am talk about this. Basically, from the crash, the previous thing, what he was suspended for last year, Rice, part of that sentence was 30 days in jail. Now, he could choose to serve that from then to, I don't know if it was 5 years or whatever, but some point in there, he had to serve this 30 days in jail. Now, this is not a new 30 days. What happened here was the judge saw you violated your probation. Okay, now you don't get to pick when you serve those 30 days. Because you violated your probation, I'm going to make you serve those 30 days right now. So that's the 30 days thing. It wasn't like he was sentenced to 30 days for testing positive for weed. It was this mistake that he made by smoking marijuana, which violates his probation. This specific action and breaking of his probation is what caused the judge to say, no, you have to serve the 30 days right now. Now, do I care about Rashee Rice, who is entrenched in this offense, missing OTAs and minicamp? Not really. Does it bother me that it's while he's trying to rehab a cleanup that he had on his knee just before the surgery? I don't know what, I saw a good tweet from Adam Levitan. Let me find it. Adam Levitan tweeted, the Rashee Rice situation is so wild. Been doing this a long time. Have never contemplated what a player's rehab will look like from literal jail. Right? I mean, this guy is, He's rehabbing his knee injury in prison. So it was just a cleanup. But, geez, I mean, like, it's just an absolute mess, right? So obviously, this says, obviously the legal investigate what happened here, but in some ways, punishing Rice again would seem like a form of double jeopardy. This is in reference to a possible suspension. So it says, obviously the legal investigate what happened here, but in some ways, punishing Rice again would seem like a form of double jeopardy. The league has relaxed its prohibitions on marijuana in recent years, but the NFL's personal conduct policy gives it broad latitude, and any misstep by someone who served a multi-game suspension within the past year could logically make them a candidate for repeat offender status. So Rashee Rice will not be suspended because he smoked weed. And he will not be suspended because he violated his probation. He'll be suspended because it makes the league look bad. That's where the suspension would come from. And it's more likely because he got suspended a year ago. Now, I don't think he gets suspended, but the league can kind of do whatever they want with this kind of stuff. Now, we still got 5 spots in this mock draft, guys. So if you are hanging out, I see Albert in the building. What is going on, brother? Feel free to hop in. Free account on flockfantasy.com, and you can join the mock. So, in terms of his dynasty value, okay, I moved Rashee Rice down to my wide receiver 12. He was previously my wide receiver 8 or 9. I had him just behind Drake London. My worry is while the ceiling is enormous for this player, and I think from a redraft perspective, he'll be fine. But will the Chiefs pay this guy? Will they pay him? Because one, he's a complete head case who is consistently just making the wrong decision. Consistently doing the wrong decision, making the wrong decision. And two, he's like replaceable in a sense. He's not as talented as the other guys scoring 18 points per game. Right? He's not as talented as Jamar Chase. He's not as talented as Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not as talented as Drake London. He fits into this offense very well because Andy Reid has designed a role for him and he's working with, the best quarterback in the league. So if he wants a bag, there are multiple things for the Chiefs to say, buddy, you're not getting a bag. Now, does that mean that it's impossible he re-signs in Kansas City? I don't think so. I don't think it's out of the question because there's a number that the Chiefs would do. Because guess what? Every other team in the league probably knows that Rice isn't that good and he's not worth the, $40 million a year contract. And they also know that he's a head case and that he's not going to stop being a head case because he signs a big extension. So I don't think it's impossible that Rice signs a lesser deal than his production warrants and he stays on the Kansas City Chiefs and he's absolutely fine. I think people are completely ignoring that possibility. I don't want to ignore that possibility. So, God, this is the thing, guys. I'm overexposed to Rashee Rice. And I'm going to get to all the comments because I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm very overexposed on Rashee Rice in my leagues. I think that on teams where I can afford it, I'm going to try and sell him in season. Because this will be a lot easier to... And it's not even that I don't believe in him. It's just that I don't want to have 35% or 40% Rashee Rice. So I think that once we get into the season and I think he's going to be scoring very well and people are kind of not thinking so dynasty brain and more thinking like I'm trying to win a championship. See if I can get off of him for a first plus or for, getting maybe Jordan Tyson starts slow and I try and get Jordan Tyson with a plus, something like that. Gibbs fan, any physical therapist in here who can go get arrested and thrown in Rashee's jail to help him rehab? You are thinking, my friend. Am I not? Oh, the whole thing isn't showing up there. Let me... I'm trying to get the whole thing to fit in the... Okay, that should work. That should be better. I want the whole comment to fit in the bubble there. I can probably just go further, honestly. Let's do that. Okay. Rehabbing from jail is nuts. Vrabel made the league look bad, if that's the bar. Well, did he, though? Or did Vrabel make himself look bad? I don't think... Yeah, you know what? It is a similar thing where it's like such a big scandal. There isn't really a precedent for a coach in that situation. I don't know. Was in a startup this past week. I almost took Rice over Pickens. We've got 2 more spots in this mock, guys. I almost took Rice over Pickens, but luckily I ended up choosing Pickens. Yeah, I mean, Chiefs low-key don't have many options. Anything can happen in an offseason, though, right? Like, they could draft a guy next year. Shaky Snake, what's going on, my man? Franchise tag feels more likely than a long-term deal. Yeah, he could definitely very easily be a franchise tag candidate. Rice to Garrett Wilson. I don't know how depending on how Wilson's start of the year goes, I don't know how easily that's going to be to get done, though. C. Kirk Walsh in the building. That's better. One more spot, fellas. One more spot. Honestly, yeah, I think like if you have no Rice right now, you probably feel pretty good. At this point, like I don't think you're missing anything. Like previously to this, like I would buy him because I think that I thought he was undervalued and I was missing out, you know what I mean, on that good value. At this point, like I don't think this is a buy window at all. I really don't, because like it could just keep getting worse. James, what's going on, my man? We getting closer and closer. I cannot wait for the NFL season. By the way, this is a perfect time to do this. As everybody's in here, everybody's hanging out. If you are unaware, if you didn't watch my video, which came out yesterday, it's absolutely fine. Everybody's busy. I understand. I brought my 5 favorite buys right now in Dynasty. Check it out. I think it's a pretty good video. But I announced that going forward, starting in June, this will be the place to be. Dang it didn't work. Sorry. This will be the place to be. Okay? I created a Sammy Stacks Dynasty channel because what I want is the content to be separate. I don't want to have everything on the fantasy channel. I want to separate the audiences so that basically if anybody is here if anybody is, starting to watch this stuff when I start doing redraft stuff in June, I want them to only see redraft stuff. That, I think it's the best way to do it, to separate the 2 channels. Obviously, that's how, Mason has it. That's how Zach has it. So go subscribe to the Sammy Stacks Dynasty channel. I am going to put it in the chat. Go subscribe to the Sammy Stacks Dynasty channel. All the stuff, like, it will be also on the redraft channel until like the end of June. I'll probably do like, you can do this where like basically both channels post it, or that's like a collab thing. But yeah, going forward for the future, right now as we do this little transition, you'll see it on both, but going forward, everything's going to be on the Dynasty channel for the Dynasty content. So yeah, go subscribe. Go subscribe. Let's switch back. You can see I'm subscribed. I did it. We are full. Let's get her going. 30-second clock. I am drafting out of the 9 hole in this one. Let's draft a startup, fellas. Chiefs feel like another team where the quarterback is the one to own and the offensive pass catchers feel like lotto yeah, you know what? I don't hate it. I kind of like Xavier Worthy, though, as a sneaky buy. What if Xavier Worthy just had trouble playing with a torn labrum? What if? Right? I think the Rice thing is so public, it's going to be really hard to move him, maybe sell it. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Shaky. I'm going to try and sell... see, this I would not do right now. No chance. Like, Kenyon Sadiq or Omar Cooper or KC are not worth losing out on the potential that Rice is fine. Like, look, 18 points per game is really hard to get, man. Like, and I think I even think, like, if you told me Rashee Rice is never going to play football again after this season, but this season he's on the Chiefs, I don't even think I'd take the 107 for him. I'd have to think about it more, but genuinely, like, the 107 just isn't a good pick. And 18 points per game is hard to freaking come by. Thinking of down tiering from London to Ibuka. I don't hate it as a starting point. I mean, this is going to shock no one. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels at the 109. I think it's fine as a starting point to ask for a first. I don't think it's insulting. Maybe throw him back a third. London and a third for Ibuka and a first. C. Kirk, what's going on? Let go. Thank you, brother. You're an inspiration to me, my friend. I appreciate that. Shaky Snake, how did you get into Dynasty and how did you learn what stats might matter for rookies? Oh my gosh. I think that the most important thing you can do with rookies is just take a holistic approach. Like, consider everything. Don't ignore one thing. Like, understand, you know, there's models out there that go on historical data and say, like, this was the most important thing and this was also important and this kind of stuff. Like, I think that there's a lot... So much goes into it, right? We know the draft capital is the most predictive thing for fantasy points, but it is not the only thing you can look at. So, you know, if you're a film guy and you like to watch college film, gosh, it's just always quarterbacks, man. I'm just going to take Lamar. We almost did this on the startup that Zach and I drafted on last Monday for Mike. I'm going to see how it turns out. I just think take a holistic approach. Consider everything, ignore nothing, find people that you trust, that you like listening to, and take all of their opinions to form yours. Because I have like NFL draft people, they aren't fantasy, they do NFL draft, and I like NFL Stock Exchange is a big one. I love watching their stuff. They have a really good podcast. They just look at it from a film perspective. So I listen to what they say. Because also, like, they're going to like a guy who is going to be really good on the outside. Like Malachi Fields, right? You know, this sort of, he's not that fast. But like this sort of field stretching outside wide receiver. They're going to like him a lot, where I'm kind of just be like, this guy's like a contested catch only guy. He's not going to be that good for fantasy. But that's really valuable to an NFL team. So, and then the stats guys, the model guys, they're going to tell me, okay, Malachi Fields is a terrible prospect, analytically. So it's just kind of looking at everything and building my opinions off of everything I hear, as opposed to just like seeing a highlight tape and going like, okay, this guy sucks. Legend, C. Kirk, thank you very much. Gibbs as well. Joe, hell yeah. Wild Dog, I'm with you. Yes, Unk at the 109. Unk at the 109. I got quarterback rankings. Little preview this week, guys. Quarterback rankings coming out on Monday. So you'll hear all about Unk on Monday. And then first redraft video will be out June 1st. Okay? So we're getting into redraft season. First redraft video out on June 1st. Actually, you know what? Here's a good question for you guys. I want to know what is like Dynasty content that you would like to see in like the middle of the summer. Shaky, I gotta say, man, I appreciate this so much. Truly, I appreciate that so much, because this is like the kind of, like, I want this to be, you know, we're just hanging out. It's very casual. It's very conversational. Don't get me wrong. I love answering trade questions and dynasty strategy questions, but stuff like that where I can really sort of just, you know, go into my opinion on it. I really, really like those kind of questions. So no pressure, but keep it up. See, this is why I can't do it. Look at this. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek here. Look who my top available are. It's freaking Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts at the 304, and I can't take him. I'll go Loveland. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay, yeah, my question was, so in the summer, I'm going to do, obviously all the redraft content's going to be cranking out, but I want to, you know, still weave in some Dynasty videos. And then frickin' unwelcomed, I don't know how it ends, but unwelcomed something gets Hampton and Hurts. Like, just, my dream. Nice. It's funny, I could have had that. I literally could have just had that instead of Loveland and Lamar. So, yeah, so I'm gonna do like a stashes video in the summer. But like, what else? Like, while training camp's happening, like stock up, stock down from training camp type of thing. Maybe like I'll do like an updated rookie rankings. But is there anything? Let go like backup running back rankings. Do like a handcuff ranking for. I could do like a must roster heading into the season. Like make sure backup running backs, backup quarterbacks, name a bunch of guys that are probably on a lot of waivers that you should have on your roster. I like that. Jose, or is the last name Ezepeda, and then it's Jose? I'll go with Jose for now. What's going on, my man? Thank you for hanging out. Coming out of a rebuild with a very young team, but I have CD. I couldn't find anyone interested in him, and I want to down or up tier off him while getting younger at the position. Any ideas? Look, if you truly can't get anything that you feel is good value, then I think it's fine to hold. CeeDee Lamb will be easier to trade during the season, I think. Well, if people aren't wanting to do it now, you would have to perform pretty well out the gate to want to trade him. That's a tough one. I would like, in that case, I'd be targeting somebody who maybe people aren't super excited about. Like, look, I mean, not to sound like a broken record. Like, what can you get on top of Brian Thomas? Maybe one of the rookies. I would try and find a team that feels like they have a lot of depth, that they can afford to send 2 or 3 assets for CeeDee Lamb. And they're sort of like a superstar away from really being a strong contender. And if your league is like way overvaluing the 27 firsts, I'd be fine to just stay away and not touch a 27 first. Not try and not have that be part of the deal, because people are really reluctant to move those picks right now. Pickens at the 306 is theft. I think I have Pickens at like 28. So for me, yeah, it's a good value. I'm still confused about that situation, man. Sports guy, thanks for hanging out. Oh my gosh, my chat just went nuts. Josh Allen and Rashee Rice, or Drake May, Zay Flowers, and Wandale. Yeah, see, that's where I'm fine to pivot, honestly. I think oh God. Zay and Wandale, is that enough? I think it's fine. Handcuff ranking would be fire. No, the mock draft is completely free, James. You just need an account. Ooh, Burden falls to me. Sure, I'll go Bears. The mock just drafting here, free account, and you can draft as much as you want. Which I realize Lou helped you out there. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you, James. I spelled everything right. Just go there. Make a free account and you'll be able to join the mock. Shaky. Here's another one. What is a take you were willing to die? You were willing to die on for the last few years. Oh my gosh. See, I wasn't really like forming super strong takes because I wasn't like presenting them anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm gonna think about that one. I'm gonna think about it and I'll come back to it. I want to answer this quick from the man himself, Dynasty Flock. Are you drafting Neighbors, Rice in round 3 right now? I assume you're talking about underdog. Confirm, please, Mason. You have to be. He has to be. I'm not touching Rice, I don't think, for like 2 weeks. Is probably what I'm gonna do. Who is top of expert right now? God, Brian Thomas is buried. I'll go with my top running back on the board. I'll take Jadarian Price here at the 504. I don't really want to touch Rice for like a week, maybe 2. I just want to see where he settles because, like, honestly, I think that I'm going to be pretty bullish regardless of like whatever news we get. I think I'll be on the higher side of it just based on how I feel about the situation. So I think I'll get enough of him later that I don't like in the puppy. I'm in some slow puppies. I think I'll try and get him at the end of the 3rd or even the middle of the 3rd just to get unique because that contest is just closing now and he's been a 2nd round pick for like all of it. So in my slow puppies right now, I think I'll try and draft him a bunch. But if I'm drafting like BBM teams right now, I think I'm just going to wait. Neighbors, I'll take Neighbors. I think I have him at 27 or 28. Early, if he falls to like the mid-range in the 3rd, then I'll take him. But I haven't taken much at all because I think the news is only going to continue to get bad. And once that like pup indicator comes on, he's going to fall. Okay, I missed one. K Bizzle, thanks for hanging out. In draft this weekend, I traded Parker Washington, Rico Dowdle, my 207, a projected mid to late 2027 2nd. Oh my gosh. And a mid to late 28 1st for the 106, 306, and 27 early to mid 27 3rd. Turn the 106 into Jordan Tyson. Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay, I don't really... I'm happy getting off the seconds. That's fine. So it's like Washington, Rico, and a future 1st for Jordan Tyson. I don't hate it. I like it, actually, yeah. Yeah, just a bunch of scraps for Jordan Tyson. I like it. Really quick, I'm gonna get to the rest, but James, I want to. So, what you're gonna do, James, is on the side here, this draft tab. You're gonna go there. This is where you do all the drafting. But once you click the link that I send into the chat for the next mock draft, it'll just take you there. So I'm gonna send the link out after we finish this draft for the next one, and then you'll be able to get in. What is my take on Michael Wilson? That I liked him. If the offense is competent and they're throwing a lot, I think that the market will be Marv way over Wilson, and I'm going to be closer together. The problem is now with Jacoby Brissett holding out, like if this is Carson Beck, dude, or Gardner Minshew, like I'm just not excited for any of them. So I think he's a fine depth wide receiver on a contending roster where you're going to have to see what happens, but you might be able to start him. To answer your question, I'd love to hear your thoughts on training camp preseason stuff. Super easy. Yeah, maybe like a, don't overreact video, like of the stuff that people are reacting to heavily right now. Jameson Williams in the 6th round. Sort of like look at, okay, this is what everybody's overreacting to right now. Here's why I think you shouldn't. That kind of thing. I like that. Are we expecting slot wide receivers to go down in production with them being on the field less as a result of more tight ends in 12 and 13 personnel? Who are the few teams like Cincy that aren't doing the new meta? There's a lot of teams that just don't have the personnel to do the new meta. And I don't think it's going to, I know a lot of people are saying this, I just don't think it's going to work as well as teams want it to. Like, for example, like the Lions, right? If the Lions are doing more 12 personnel, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the slot wide receiver. But he's not coming off the field. You're not going to have 12 personnel with Jameson Williams and Isaac Tesla. Ooh, Jalen Waddle. I'll take him at 704. You're not going to have 12 personnel with Jameson Williams and Isaac Tesla and Amon-Ra on the bench, right? He's just going to move outside. So I think it depends on the slot wide receiver. And there are many, many teams that aren't going to be doing it. Like, I mean, let's just go through. Just the, like, Cincy. Mike Gesicki is already a wide receiver, so that's not happening. Detroit, I don't think they drafted a tight end. They might do some more of it. New York could definitely do a bunch of it. Minnesota, no. It's TJ Hawkinson. Like Josh Oliver is not good enough to push Juwan Jennings off the field. Like, you would rather have Juwan Jennings on the field. The Cowboys, no. The Falcons, I don't think so. I mean, they don't really have a good... But who will be punished from it? Like... I don't know if you see... You know, the Bears are an interesting one, but there isn't really a wide receiver 3. It's tough. I could see the Chargers being one that you really want to get right. Because, like, does Ladd come off the field? Are they going to be running, like, you know, Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston? I don't think so. But it's something to consider. I didn't get BTJ, yes. It is very sad. I traded Price for Fannin in a full point premium. Yeah, I like that. Full point premium, that's an easy deal. In a 10-team Superflex keeper league, would you rather keep Bijan at the 110 or May at the 710? In a Superflex keeper? And Uncle Fresh, I'm not like, I don't play in any keeper leagues as of right now. So I just want to confirm that this is how it works. If you keep Bijan, you lose the 110. If you keep May, you lose the 710. If that is the case, I'm keeping May easily. Very easily. Because he's probably he's probably a first round pick in a Superflex 10-teamer, I would assume. So you're basically, if they're both first round picks, you get an extra first round pick by keeping May. Would you trade Waddle plus Chuba plus Dubs for Cook? Oh my gosh. I'm going to cop out here, and I'm going to say that if this is like a small starting lineup, if this is a start 9, give me the stud. If this is a start 11 and I need depth, I'll take Waddle, Chuba, Dobbs. I do think it's very, very even. Gibbs fan. I'd love a video later in the summer checking in on young rookie quarterbacks, see how they're coming along, if they may have future value in Dynasty. I don't mind that. I'll probably do an updated rookie rankings, given like info we hear just like since the draft and in training camp and stuff. Not that like I expect a ton of rookie drafts to not be done by July, but just that it'll be a nice refresher on the rookie class. Team 11 and 12 punting quarterback. There are some, I wouldn't say good names. There are some names on the board. I wish I punted quarterback because it's been like quarterback's been top of my board literally like almost every pick. Guy in my league wants Henry. We're both contending. He's offered a 2029 first, Malik Willis, and Jonathan Brooks. Ooh, give me Travis Hunter here. That's the package. A first, Malik Willis, and Jonathan Brooks. I would take that. Well, geez, that's hard. I think that if I'm contending, I don't want to give up Henry, but that is just a massive package. Like, he's still 33. That's really tough. I'd try and get a first closer. Like, if he's not going to do a 27 first or 28 first, then maybe I'm out. I wouldn't want to wait 3 years for it. Okay, so it is your pick. You're keeping the guy at that pick. So yeah, I'm keeping Drake May there. I saw Bears guy tweet he thinks Khalif Raymond. Yeah, it's him or what? Xavion Thomas? Who's the other guy? Jade Walker is also there. What am I gonna do here? Who's top of the expert? Really? That's interesting. Oh, gosh. You know what? Let's make a value pick. Ty Simpson, the 904. The Bears could easily go more tight end heavy. I just don't think it matters for Luther, for Burden, or Rome. Mentioning for... Oh, okay. Like, I can make a video around that. This is honestly not bad. I know that there's been some articles written. Jacob Sanderson did a good one about it. I could try and dive into that and sort of... It might be like more of a redraft thing because these things change so much that like I couldn't possibly say, okay, sell you know, Lad McConkey because the Chargers are going to run more heavy personnel. I would not feel good about that at all. The Rams do have an insane amount of tight ends. If you're making this trade and you're like, I'll feel good about this if Jonathan Brooks is like serviceable, then I don't like it at all. Willis is a good QB3. I feel like look, trades sometimes cannot just be black and white. This guy beats this guy because like the value says take the first and the elite ceiling quarterback. But and then you get an upside shot in Brooks. I'm really indifferent on it. It's just, it does hurt. Like, especially if Willis is your QB3, like you're saying, this just hurts your starting lineup and you're a contender. Here, LJ, here's what I'll ask. Do you have your 2027 first round pick? If you have your own 2027 first, I'm much happier making this deal because if you are a contender, you are now sort of like, you can sort of decide what you want to do in terms of you don't have to force yourself to try to compete no matter what. If you do still have your first and you make this move, you can pivot mid-season and sort of punt if you want to, or you can use your first to replace the Henry production. Okay. So my team, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, and Ty Simpson at quarterback. Colson Levin's my tight end. I got Burden, J-Mo, Waddle, Travis Hunter at wide receiver, and Jadarian Price is my sole running back at the moment. I'll try and fill that out at near the end here. And we will be doing at least another mock, if not two. I would love to do 3 mocks on the stream. And I think what I'll do for June and July, or no, let me make this pick and then I'll decide. Ooh, I really like the Stowers value here. I'm gonna take Stowers at the 1009. What I think I'll do is I'll start doing Saturday night streams for redraft, and then maybe I'll do like once a month, like once in June, once in July. Once in August, I'll do like a Wednesday night or maybe a Friday night Dynasty stream. I have a 2027 first rounder from a rebuilding team. You got lucky. Figure if I trade Henry, I could package 27 first to get a running back with the... Yeah. So if your league like allows for a lot of trading, I do like that. Because you're getting really good value for Henry and you can replace his production with the draft capital that you have. Colin, I will absolutely do another mock, if not 2 more. If we can fill 2 more, I will do 2 more. Hey, shout out you, Lou. Glad you were able to catch one live. That's it. Look, I'm new to this. You guys know that. I'll take Tony Pollard here. It is like it is very weird for me to conceive of the idea or to understand the idea that somebody would listen to me talk while they walk their dog. I listen to people talk while I walk my dog. Cool moment. Appreciate you, Lou. Thanks for hanging out, man. For everybody that wasn't here at the beginning, I have created the Sammy Stacks Dynasty channel where all of my Dynasty content will live forever. So right now it's all been on the same channel, the Sammy Stacks Fantasy channel. Redraft is starting. June 1st, my first redraft video will drop on this channel, the Sammy Stacks Fantasy channel. And all my Dynasty content is going to move to the Sammy Stacks Dynasty, to the Dynasty channel. All right? So go subscribe. Clearly, if you're here, you like Dynasty Fantasy Football. That is where that content will live. Went with the blue background instead of the normal purple. Can't really explain it. Yeah, I'm glazing, aren't I? Don't blush too hard, yeah. Not yet. This is just this is a tiny cool stepping stone that I've it's cool. It makes me it's not something I ever thought that I would do, and it's a cool feeling. I'm just so glad that you guys enjoy what I have to say and that you think that I'm, somewhat decent at this. Bro, out here looking like the Justin Bieber Fantasy Football. If only. If only. Very recently, Colin. This is my first Dynasty offseason doing content. So if you're unaware of my backstory, I was the winner of the fan competition to join the Flock League in 2025. And yeah, I did a little series weekly just talking about my Flock League season and my team and moves that I was making and all that kind of stuff, and then started doing the Dynasty content once the offseason hit. And I'm going to be here for the redraft cycle this year, which I'm so excited for. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait for all that to start up. About to make my 12th round pick here. Ramondre sniped. Okay. This running back room sucks. I'm going to take Blake Corum. And yeah. I'm going to need a running back. I'm probably going to try and maneuver. Maybe I try and down tier from Lamar. If this was a real league, of course. Yes, sir. There you go. Yeah, so I am a Nepo content creator, as they say. Okay. I'm going to review this draft in a second. Let me get our next one fired up here. 30 seconds, super flex. We're loading in. It's going to take a second. Scribble's ready for week 1. Me too, dude. I can't wait. It's going to be a long summer getting there, but I am so excited. Colin's going to audition for the Flock League. Heck yeah, dude. I'm going to go at the 5 hole. Okay. Let me send this into the chat. Everybody got their fast fingers ready. 3, 2, 1. Boom. And we can take a look here. We will look at the post-draft review. Luz gets first on the expert ranks. I got third. The experts don't normally like me, but they're happy with me today. My running back room is just atrocious. Lamar Daniels being 8th and 10th definitely helps me here. In my rankings, I do have the best team. I mean, yeah, this just can't. The calculator, as well as like this sort of page with the my teams thing, really values those top end assets. So, Daniel's getting an exponential boost because I have him at 3rd. Lamar being 10th again in the 2nd round. is boosting this a ton for me. Ooh, we filled almost instantly. One spot left, and Joe's gets it. So we are ready to kick this thing off. I'm at the 5 spot. We got Stuart picking first. And he says he got the 1-1 in a recent domain Dynasty startup, so he's going to see how he does compared to that. Heck yeah, dude. Has that startup happened yet? Or is this like a practice round for you? Purely because of how the market values these guys, I am like completely pilled to not taking a quarterback in round 1. And I am going to take Puka Nacua at the 105. He's my wide receiver 1. I think him, JSN Chase, is a wash. Like, genuinely, I don't care. He does happen to be first, though. Gamers. Someone is offering me Garrett Wilson, Amarian Hampton, and a first for Jahmyr Gibbs and 2 fourths. Wilson, Hampton, and a first for Gibbs. Dude, I would take that. That's like the haul that Gibbs is worth, in my opinion. I mean, what? Hampton's worth 2 firsts? You get a first, and Garrett Wilson is at least worth 1. So this is at least 4 firsts of value for Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, unless this is like a tiny league and like Garrett Wilson isn't hitting your lineup, I'm taking the package. The domain startup was 2 weeks ago. Okay. I mean, from the horse's mouth. His name is Gibbs fan, and he would take the deal. Captain Clutch, as a contender, is it worth it to trade away Jamar Chase to pick up some depth? What would be a fair... If I'm a contender, and... If I am a contending roster and I have Jamar Chase, unless I'm, like, desperate for depth, like, if I'm starting, like, a bum... Then I'd try to down tier to, like, can I get Jefferson and a starter at running back? Like I don't know. Can I get Jefferson and Bucky? Can I get Jefferson and Javonte? Can I get Jefferson and Kyron? Same deals for, like, CeeDee Lamb. If I want to go further than that, can I go down to... I mean, I like buying Amik Egbuka right now. Can I get Egbuka and... a really good running, like a Breece Hall? Can I get Egbuka and Kenneth Walker? That's kind of what I would be trying to do if I need some depth. Yeah, 12-team league. I mean, yeah, like I said, unless it's a really tiny lineup, I would take the package for Gibbs there. Wilson would start. Yeah. Colin, you went Bijan, Tate, Egbuka, Lemon, AJ Brown at Doomsday. That is a heck of a wide receiver room, dude. Okay, I'm about to be on the clock. Joe Blacko ahead of me. He has the opportunity to get the elusive Bengals stack here. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? He goes Bowers. I will take Joe Burrow at the 208. I'm in a startup right now where I got to start Jonathan Taylor. Oh, start it? Do you mean it, I assume? I got to start with Gibbs, then Lamar at the 211. And Mahomes at the 411. Freaking, wow, man. That is, yeah, that's nuts. Hey, man, I like it. I don't mind it at all. It, not JT, yeah. Would you trade Egbuka for most likely the 101 next season? It depends on how most likely that is. Honestly, I would have to, like, see the team amongst the other. Like, if you are, like, I don't know, 75% sure Even then, do I want to do that? Like, what if that team decides to be good? Or decides to trade their first for 3 starters? I don't know. You know, like, anything can happen. And Egbuka isn't a bad pick on a rebuilder, or is a bad guy to have on a rebuilder. If it's looking pretty clear that it's like the worst team in the league, they're going to score the lowest amount of points, then sure, I'm fine with that. Because look, I mean, Egbuka, I brought him in. I talked about him in the. By the way, subscribe to the Dynasty channel. But Egbuka is the thumbnail boy for the buy video. But I mean, I would rather have Jeremiah Smith. I would rather have Jeremiah Smith right now, and not get to have him for a year. Ooh, and you know what? I'm gonna take him. Amik Egbuka, welcome to the squad. Overcome with a super chat. Thank you, brother. You do not have to do that. I really appreciate that. Hampton and the New England backfield, so you have Travion and Ramondre, are my only running backs. I have 2 mid to late 2027 firsts. Should I go after a Walker, Jacobs, or Chase Brown with one of those? Here's what I would do. If the rest of your team is geared towards contending, if I can get Kenneth Walker or Chase Brown with one of those picks, smash. Absolute smash. If they're both supposed to be mid to late, I would do a first and a second for Kenneth Walker. I might even do the same thing with Chase Brown. I really like Chase Brown. Jacobs, I wouldn't want to send a first right now, but I would do that mid-season if he's playing really well. So right now, I'd be happy to send one of those picks for Walker. I would even do a little plus. I'd send one of those picks for Chase Brown as well. Absolutely. Jacobs, I would wait just to make sure that he's, looking healthy during the season. That's more of an in-season move that I would want to make. Okay, the 3 quarterbacks I was looking at all went. Gosh, he's staring at me at the top of my queue. Can I do it? Could I possibly do it? I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I can't do it right now. Give me Burden. I can't do it right now. Okay, back to these. Thank you again, Overcome. Really appreciate that. Would you trade Jamar Chase for Egbuka in a mid-2027 first? On a rebuilder, I don't think you get more than that. That's where I'd be at with that. If it's like a mid-first, as in like it's in or out, like this team could make the playoffs, they could miss the playoffs, I think I'm happy with that price. Some people might say you need more, but like on a rebuilding roster, I want to get out of him. And so I'd be happy with that. Sammy, what do you think of the Packers offense? I notice I'm still higher than most on Matthew Golden. I think it's fine. Like, just as long as you bake in the idea that he could just be bad, then I think it's fine to like Matthew Golden. Because it seems like finally they are consolidating this offense, this wide receiver room, into 3 guys. You let Romeo Doubs walk. You trade Dontavian Wicks. You don't draft anybody. It's Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed. You have Savion Williams as the 4th guy, but like it seems like they're finally concentrating those 3 guys. Matthew Golden should have opportunity. If he doesn't do anything with it, then he's not good. But he should have the opportunity, which I think is encouraging. Got Olave in the 3rd as well. That was your Mahomes in the 4th. Hey, that's nuts. Would you give Henderson for Montgomery in an early? Yes. I would send Travion Henderson for an early to mid-27 first right now by himself. So then to get a startable running back on top of that, I like it. I have this order as well. So yeah, you're a contender for sure. Yeah, I gave my spiel. I like requiring one of those guys. Jacobs, I would just want to wait to feel comfortable sending a first for him. because I genuinely think like these picks have so much value and people are hyping them up so much that you might be able to get even more than that. Like you might be able to get Jacobs plus. Just had a startup draft where one guy went super running back heavy, while I tend to favor wide receiver builds. What are your thoughts on two? I think from like a Dynasty startup perspective, you feel a lot better looking at your roster when you're weak at running back compared to weak at wide receiver, because it's hard to trade for wide receivers. People don't often want to give them up in deals. I'm going to take Jared Goff here, my QB2. People don't often want to give them up in deals. Running backs are often easier to trade for, I think. So, I think just if the value is falling to you at running back, take all the running backs, try and win a championship in year one. I don't think there's a wrong way to approach a startup from that perspective. If you are always taking the value that falls to you, I think you'll do well. You are very welcome, Zach. Happy to help out. Hey man, that's what I'm here for. Give me all the random questions you want. That's what I'm here for, man. I love, I love talking. I love talking ball. And I have a lot of opinions that, for some reason people like to listen to me share them. And so I'm going to keep doing it. Jared Goff is not often a guy that I target, but I prepped my quarterback rankings and I'm just like, man, he's just like unbelievably consistent. I know like week to week, it's not incredible, right? Like where, you got some bad games in there, but over the past 3 years in a row with 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. I mean, who's doing that? And can I push it to the 7th? You know what? Given I don't have a running back yet, I am going to take Bucky Irving here at the 605. Who should be the next James Bond and why is it Henry Cavill? That would make sense. Who else could be Bond? You know who might be a decent Bond? I don't think they would do I don't think it would, like, Glenn Powell I feel is too mainstream right now, but I think he would do a good job. I feel like I like, is Miles Teller crazy? I feel like it's always like maybe a little lesser known guys. Wasn't there a rumor about I'm so bad with names. Who was the guy that was Elvis? He was like a Disney Channel kid. Damn, I'm completely blanking on his name. I thought I saw something about he was rumored. Henry Cavill, I mean, obviously makes a lot of sense. I've been taking London over CD in startups. Let's see. I think I have CD ahead, but it's same tier. Let's see. Yeah, they're back to back. It's fine. I think it's fine. Would you trade Austin Butler? Thank you. Thank you. I guess a non-British, he does have to be British, doesn't he? Okay, so maybe, yeah, that wouldn't work then. I mean, you can do a British accent. Austin Butler can 100% do a British accent. I'm positive of that. Would you trade the 2027 108 and you already know that it's the 108 and Carnell Tate for Tyson, Josh Jacobs, and AJ Brown? I'm a top contender and I still have the 27 104 after the trade. Oh, actually, no, I wouldn't have taken Kyler. Never mind, that's fine. Good pick, Brasky. Who do I want here? Jameson Williams did not make it back to me, unfortunately. That's who I pushed. You know what? I will take Josh Jacobs. Okay. So Tate Small downgrade to Tyson. 2027 108 for for Javonte is a perfectly fair deal, I think. I would do this with Tyson Javonte. I would do Javonte instead of Jacobs. Yeah, I would do that. 108 and Cardinal Tate for Tyson, Javonte, and AJ Brown. I will take that. Oh god, dude. Marv is so damn difficult right now. Like, I can't get behind a 5th round pick. I get it. I get what people see, like 100%. And I said this in the wide receiver rankings video, I don't see the path for this Cardinals offense for him unless he like magically becomes the guy who he was touted to be as a prospect. If that guy's in there and he breaks out and finally shows that, then I think he can succeed in this offense. But this offense is just not going to be good. Like, the running game will be a little better, but they're not going to have to throw as much. The passing volume isn't going to be as good. We know Michael Wilson can play. Trey McBride is there. And it might just be Carson Beck. I'll take a QB3. I'll take CJ Stroud here at value. It might just be Carson Beck, and that's terrifying to me. So there are so many wide receivers that I would rather have that go around him and are valued close to him. Are they going to have another Wolverine? Look, forgive me for being ignorant. Was there ever a different Wolverine? This isn't like a James Bond thing, is it? Where like there's a bunch of guys that play the same character? Idris Elba could have been cool. I feel like he might be too old for it now. If it was an older Bond, I guess, yeah, that would be cool. We drafted the 2027 picks last season? Holy shit. But, yeah, I agree with you, Scribbles. They are still going to throw a bunch because the defense is bad. But at the same time, the insane passing volume was because the run game was so bad. Because Connor got hurt and then Benson got hurt. And so you're dealing with Bam Knight and Imari DiMarcado and Michael Carter. I have Lemon in one league and the Burden owner trying to send Burden for Lemon. If you can get a plus, Lou, I mean, I understand not wanting to do that, both of which are equally unproven in the NFL. I prefer Burden. If you can get a plus, I would tell you that's a smash. I perfectly understand if you don't want to do it, though. Okay. I don't have a tight end yet. I'm going to take Eli Stowers here. Sam Laporta could be James Bond. Interesting. You know what, Gibbs? Historically, yes. Right now, I just don't find I have a lot of time. You know what? I do have time. I don't have a game that I truly desire to play. I've never been like a huge video game person. My favorite game growing up was FIFA. I'm a big soccer fan. Loved FIFA. I played the crap out of that game for like 8 years straight. Every new version. And I loved it. And my friends would play like the shooter games, like whether it was Call of Duty or Fortnite when it came out, Rainbow Six, all that kind of stuff. I was so bad at the shooters. And then recently I really liked the first college football, the 2025 one. I really liked that game. The 26th one I didn't get into as much. I played a ton of the college football game when it came out. So this one, when it comes out this summer, maybe I will consider that. But I'm trying to put a lot of my free time into the YouTube channel because I want to, make this as good as possible. And obviously this isn't like a job at all right now, right? Like this is purely for fun and for trying to grow, right? So I'll take Kyle Monangai here. I really like Pitts as well. I've been drafting him a bunch on Underdog. I just think Stefanski likes to utilize the tight end, and there's such a clear... And look, I don't think Pitts is some incredible player, but, you know, he's a lot better than Darnell Mooney. No, he's not even there anymore. He's better than Zachariah Branch. He's better than Jahan Dotson. They need a second option. If Kraft comes back healthy, would you rather Warren or Kraft long term? If the only I mean, I assume he comes back healthy, and I'm taking Warren ahead of him. Kraft ran really hot on touchdowns. The breakout was just filled with touchdowns in like 2 good games in terms of yardage. We know that touchdowns aren't predictive. Like, look at this guy. He had 2 games with more than 60 yards. And it was like, oh, 33 points, 2 touchdowns, breakout on Sunday Night Football. I think it was Sunday Night Football. And then he gets hurt. So it's tough. I'm going Tyler Warren, personally. Collins squad is winning year 1. Bijan, Tedero McMillan, James Cook, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas, AJ Brown, Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, Daniel Jones, Mike Evans. It is a squad. It is a really strong team for year 1 for sure. For sure. 25 was really good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the YouTube grind, man. I'm on the YouTube grind. Dude, I'm trying to like schedule out my redraft stuff. I'm trying to like figure out how much I can take on in terms of like videos a week. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be hectic. Harvey Hate has gone too far. Potentially. It's tough, man. I mean, look, they re-signed the guy who was playing ahead of him and better than him all last year. And then, I'll take a shot on Likely here. And then immediately drafted a guy in the 4th round who, like, I also like as a prospect. It's tough with Harvey. It is really tough. Tatum, I would freaking love to. Unfortunately, I live in a place where Underdog is not legal currently. I also live 25 minutes away from a provincial border line, which allows me to do the drafts still, but I just can't stream them. Because I can't do them live. I can do fasts when I'm there. I do mostly slows, but I do some fast drafts like if I hop over. But I can't stream them. As soon as it is legal again in Ontario, I will do them. I will absolutely do that. I get there's a lot of touchdowns. You know, he passed the eye test. I agree. Like, I do agree. But the fact is, like, he could be phenomenal and he could still be putting up, 5 for 56 on a weekly basis. Like, I feel like taking him over Warren is expecting him to, be top 5 tight end. I don't necessarily expect that. I only have 3 wide receivers. God. I'll take a shot on... this is gross. I'll take a shot on Antonio Williams here. Like, yeah, I completely agree with you, Scribbles. I do think he passed the eye test. I think the hype has gone a little too far because of the production. It's just like he's not scoring 0.8 touchdowns a game over the course of a year. He's not doing that. What it do, YouTube, on a rebuilder is trading away Bo Nix for downs and a mid to late 27 first. Insane. I don't think it's insane. I think I would want more. I think Bo, I mean, he's a 4th round. He's like a 3rd, 4th round starter pick. I'd want more than like a 1st and like a flyer on a guy who's never been good. I like Josh Downs. as a value right now, but I don't think that's enough for mix. I need a little more. I need that downs to be better, or I need, like, I feel like Bo is like a two firsts kind of guy. Maybe not 2 and 27, but if you're rebuilding, like, would the other person give me like their 27 first and 28 first, and I give you Bo and like a depth piece? This is true, Scribbles, but at the same time, like, if you think about it from a target share perspective, sure, those guys you would think would impact him, but neither Dobbs or Wicks is keeping Tucker Kraft off the field. You know what I mean? I just, like, what is the, like what is the expectation for Tucker Kraft? Because if it's top 5 tight end, I'm not buying that. Okay, what do we got here? Expert average has me at 8. Brasky wins the expert average bowl. My rankings. I do win in my rankings. I don't mind this team. I really like the 3 wide receivers I got. I like my quarterback room a lot. I'd probably like try and add like a Mark Andrews, Chigakonkwo down here. So, yeah. I just saw this. Colin said he's at 12, but is there a contest? You know what, Colin? I am going to... This is also new. I'm going to make sure that gets added, because right now you cannot flip between them, but you should be able to. So I'm going to tell the devs in our meeting next week that we want to get the contending rebuilding filters on the draft thing. I like that. Okay. One more we'll get into. Thank you all for hanging out. While you're here, like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I dropped a video yesterday. Buy's video. Go watch that after this is done. And go subscribe to the Sammy Stacks Dynasty channel. Sammy Stacks Dynasty. Super simple. All of my Dynasty content forever will be moved over there. So if you like the Dynasty stuff, if we do any streams this summer for Dynasty, which I will do a few, even once we get into redraft season, I'll do some Dynasty stuff. That will all happen over there. So subscribe, turn the notifications on. Yeah. We are getting into another draft here. What do I want to do? I went 9, and then I went... Let's go with the 12. I haven't done the 12. It's going to be quick picks, but this link is coming at you. In 3. In 2. 1. Bang. Join up. This will be the last mock of the evening. If you've already been in one, maybe give somebody else a chance. But I imagine there will be a spot for anybody who wants one. Let's catch up on here. Someone recently offered me Jacoby Myers for Jeremy Bernard. I mean, that's like textbook. We have already... I'm going to answer this question, then I'll get back to that. We've already filled. That's like textbook contender rebuilder, isn't it? I have Jacoby Myers at wide receiver 49, and I have Jeremy as 56. I think it's fine. If you're a contender, I'm fine trading Jeremy for Jacoby. If you're a rebuilder, I'm fine getting Jeremy. This will be interesting to see how I do out of the 12 spot here. Come to Manitoba and we can draft. Yeah. Quebec is closer for me. But, hey, Lou, if I'm ever out there, I'll let you know. Whereabouts are you, Lou? Are you in the Peg? Do I know any other? Regina? No, that's Saskatchewan. God, you're going to think I'm not even Canadian. That's so embarrassing. Manitoba. I can't think of a single other city in Manitoba. That is so embarrassing. Who do you think are possible tier ups if I were to do like Waddle and a pick? Or Waddle and P. Washington? I don't want to sell Waddle right now, honestly. But if you're going to tier up, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Nico Collins, I think all makes sense. That'd be where I'm at with that. Feels impossible to move Tootin in my leagues. Everyone needs to see it. Then keep him. Gibbs at the 107. You don't see that all the time. I mean, what'd it do? I'd just be keeping him then. If nobody wants to pay market for him, you hold him and you reap the benefits of it happening. If you like, and Tootin's not an asset you need to get out of on any team. Like if it's like there honestly is a point on a contender where in season I would rather get below market value than keep the player on my team. Okay. God. I don't think I would actually do this. I would try and trade down. But I'm here. I'm going to take Caleb and I'm going to take Brock Bowers. See how this goes. Like, last year I was in a league where I had a bunch of vets. I had like Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco was playing and he was scoring a bunch of points. And I was like, I can't have these points on my team because my team was not good. My team was not making the playoffs. I wanted to get the #1 overall pick. I took less than market value just to get them off my roster and to get something for them. And I don't think Tootin is anywhere close to that type of asset, right? Joe, I think you were talking about Kraft. If you think that, I mean, you should be buying him. Because he's 25 years old with a really good quarterback on a good offense. And he's not priced in the top 5. I don't value him outside of the top 5 because of the injury. I can tell you that much. So, yeah. I think it's tough. Like, Bowers, McBride, Loveland, Warren. There's a spot there, right? You got Fannin. You got the vets, right? Like, I mean, who were the top 10 tight ends last year? In positional finish, Pitts was the tight end 2. Unreal. He could be top 5. What am I talking about? Jake Ferguson was top 5. But will top 5 be good is the question that we need to ask ourselves. You know what I mean? I guess it's a little arbitrary to say top 5. What does that mean, you know? Lou, you're 20 minutes outside the peg. All right. Well, I'm like 20 hours outside the peg. But if I ever head over, I will hit you up for sure. Was this the Tootin question? I can't even scroll up now. One sec. Yes. No, this was with the Waddle question. I have a Olave, but he's in wide receiver 1. I'm on the clock. Damn. Okay, Jalen Hurts, 301, sure. Olave's your wide receiver 1. I don't know if I'd want to. I think I'd rather maneuver else. I like Waddle, especially for this year. If you're trying to compete, I would rather do something else. Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, holding I think is a good move with Waddle. I really, really like him for this year. I think he's gonna be. I think we know that he's talented, and now he's in a situation where they pass a lot. There are these designed opportunities where he can work after the catch, which is really good for him. That's in his skill set. Bo Nix can throw the deep ball. He's not incredible at it, but he can do it better than Tua. So I like that. Yeah, Jawan Johnson last year, man. Insane. Okay, Loveland at the 306. Lou with a phenomenal start here. Tough cookie goes Egbuka. Caleb Bowers Hurts. I always end up getting like something like Loveland was top of ADP after Hurts for me at 301 there. Heck yeah. I'm glad, Parker. I've bought Waddle in 2 leagues in the last 3 weeks. I didn't have any shares. I had a few shares. I sold them like earlier in the offseason, and then he got sent to Denver, and I was like, shit. It wasn't something I saw happening. It is my absolute pleasure, my friend. Yeah, I really didn't. I mean, nobody saw the Waddle trade coming, I don't think. I thought the Broncos would target a wide receiver with that 30th overall pick. I didn't know it was going to be a vet and not a rookie. I thought that Denzel Boston was like a perfect Sean Payton receiver. Big, can block. Like literally just like a Cortland Sutton direct replacement in terms of like role. Okay. So we have James Cook at the 312, Jonathan Taylor at the 311. Some quarterbacks off the board. Herbert Lawrence Knicks. This is why I love slow startups, guys, honestly. Like, look, the startups on Zach's stream are always, like, exhilarating and so much fun to be a part of. But, like, you can do so much more with your team when you're able to trade, you know? And, like, people say that about auctions. If you're in an active startup where, like, there's 12 guys that are willing to move up and down the board, you can do so much with that. You can, like, acquire picks and all this kind of stuff in a way that you can't do as much in an auction. I do not use StreamYard. And literally only because StreamYard, if you want to like get rid of their watermark, I think you need to pay. And like you need a subscription or whatever. And when I was like starting to I stream on from the same thing that I record my videos on. I use OBS, which like the version I have is completely free. So that was like genuinely the only reason why I didn't go to StreamYard, because I was like, this works fine and I don't have to pay for it. So yeah, I just use OBS Studio. I use that to record. Like when I make here, a little peek behind the curtain, the buys video. Am I about to? No, I don't have the picture in there right now. But yeah, basically I can like record my screen. I can add images in, all this kind of stuff. Okay. Ooh, I got the stack. Makai Lemon. And then I need wide receivers. I'm going to take Brian Thomas at the 501. OBS is really, really good. I've had a really good experience with it. Be hype if you could sell your money. I've done this. I've seen this done, Spiders. Thanks for hanging out, by the way. I haven't seen you in the chat yet, but thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I've had auction drafts where people send. It's funny because like the price kind of needs to be set by like the first person. It's like one person sends a 27 first for $75, let's say, in like $1,000 budget. And then it's like, well, now that's the price for a 27 first. It can't really be subjective after that, which is an interesting wrinkle, but I've seen it done where somebody, you know, just acquires a bunch of firsts for their auction cash. And then, you know, those people then try to spend that extra money to improve their roster. It works perfectly fine. You just need to sort of like, the commissioner needs to like manually change the budgets and stuff like that. But it can be done. It can absolutely be done. I really like, see, this is the thing. We talked about the running back versus wide receiver builds. This, I have zero problem with. In fact, I really like it. Like, if those are the values that you're seeing on the board, I'm fine to pick up 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds and try and fill out the wide receivers later. I have no issue with that. And I really like all 3 of these picks. Obviously, I love Marion Hampton. I really like Chase Brown. Jadarian Price. Maybe this is a little high. But, I mean, I have him in the tier with Brees and Chase. So, it's perfectly fine. Meanwhile, I have no running backs through 5 rounds. Who needs them? Who needs them? Who needs them when you got Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams? Let me tell you. Okay. The Chaz going McCaffrey in the 5th. See, if you went to school, if you went to elementary school and you learned the simple skill of patterning, you might say Christian McCaffrey is due a bad season. He did play 2 years in a row with full years. But just saying. Or was it Dak that I was looking at that was due an injury? I'm not wish cashing injuries, I'm just saying. It was Dak. 5, 16, 12, 17, 8, 17. Oh no. And then Joe Burrow's the other one, where he's like injured every other year. So Burrow, 17, 10, 17, 18 should play a full season. If what they taught us about patterns is correct. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying I know how to pattern. TJ Brown, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Really, really appreciate that. Super, super grateful. Thank you so much. Achan and Lemon for Bijan. Already have Gibbs. Oh my gosh. Achan and Lemon for... My, first initial instinct is that that's probably the price. If I'm on a team, I have Devon Achan, I have Mekhi Lemon, I'm a strong contender. I want to upgrade my starting lineup. I have a lot of depth that I could use to consolidate. I'm fine with this price. So that's where I'd be at with that. If this really, really strengthens your starting lineup, if Lemon is on your bench and you have a bunch of depth, I'm fine with this price. And again, really appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much, TJ. Spider's got to get Dak in odd years. Hey, man. Spider's clearly took patterning. Whew. Wow. Okay. This is going to be an easy double tap for me. I'm going to take Jamison Williams. I can find my keyboard. And I'm going to take Javonte Williams. Double J Willie at the turn. That was 6-7 for those of you uncultured in the chat. Rick, look who I took at the 201. Look right there. Right there. Right here. Look who I took. Are you proud of me? You're late. It's okay, Rick. I forgive you. Rick is the OG of the Saturday night streams. Rick, better late than never, man. That's what they say, right? Better late than never. Goombas. First draft you with you in the 12. Is it? I think I always tend to go in the middle, just so that I don't have to wait so long between picks. But the chat's active tonight. The chat is active tonight. They are out. They're asking questions. So it's working out even if I have a long time between picks. Pitts at the 606, by the way. I did not see this. Hey, man, I like Kyle Pitts. Wowza. The football robot from heaven himself. What an insane thing to say from Clint Kubiak. He is a football robot from heaven. I mean, just is there a bigger endorsement you could make of a third-year player? Football robot from heaven. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, I don't think you could say anything better. What are your thoughts on Parker Washington? I'm not a big believer. I just think there are just these guys who have, 6-game runs of production in advantageous situations. Brian Thomas Jr. not playing well at all, dealing with an injury. Travis Hunter hurt. The Jags going on this insane run of passing efficiency, and he, has several good games. Previous to that, not really showing much. Not a highly touted prospect, 4th-round pick. I feel like there's a lot of guys like this that come and go. And I believe so much in the talent of Brian Thomas Jr. and the talent of Travis Hunter, where I don't see Parker Washington being a long-term contributor for this Jaguars offense. What's going on? Emil? Would you trade Josh Allen in a 27th third for JSN and Goff? Yes. Yes. I'd rather have JSN and Goff quite easily there. Rick, I live and breathe to make you proud. So I appreciate this. Lou's got great value with his past 2 quarterbacks. Mendoza, I took Goff in the 5th last draft. $706. I mean, Baker going pretty late too. That is wild. That is quite wild. I've been running a startup in the group. It's exhausting, so I needed a nap. Rick, hey man, look, being a commissioner is sometimes a full-time job, man. You gotta know you're able to take that on. You gotta be able to take that on. Travis, I bought Chase the other day in a 14-team league. Marv, Jalen Warren, and 2 most likely later 27 first. I mean, hey, it's a hefty price, but you're getting a phenomenal player. What do I want to do here? Oh God. I will go. Hey, I'm touting Chuba Hubbard. I'll take Chuba Hubbard. And I will take Michael Wilson. I don't love it, but that's what I did. Yeah, look, Travis, this is a hefty price, but I don't think you're going to be upset with what Jamar Chase does for you in the next, 3 years. Rick says I need a 3rd quarterback behind Burrow, Goff in the startup. Sanders, Watson. Dude, I mean, I don't think you need any of those guys. So Shadur Sanders, Christian Watson, Carson Beck. Are there 2 Watsons, or did you just say it twice? There's not 2 Watsons. Here's your answer. Mac Jones, there's your answer. No, in all seriousness, Carson Beck, honestly, at this point, with it looking like, Jacoby Brissett wants way more money than he deserves. Dude, there's a very far from 0 chance that Carson Beck starts week 1. Now, do I think that goes well? No, I do not. Hey, it's all good, Rick. I wouldn't target Mac Jones, but I think Carson Beck is definitely worth a look. He could very easily, call me crazy. Out of those 4, I think the most likely guy to start week 1 of next year, of 2027, is Mac Jones. Easily. So easily. Give me Shadur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, Carson Beck, or Mac Jones to start week 1, 2027. Mac Jones. With a bullet. John. Thoughts on Jaden Daniels for Knicks and all 27, 28 firsts and seconds. So 4 picks, you mean? Because it's one person. So you get a 27 first, 27 second, 28 first, 28 second. And Bo Nix for Jaden Daniels. If I need to blow it up, I don't think you're getting much more than this for Jaden. Oh, it's so tough. Look, I don't want to make this move. If you need to blow it up and get picks, then I'm fine with it. Rick, I was doing the exact same freaking thing, dude. The Niners were like, we're not going to trade him. We like having a good backup. You know, I'm sure you also would have liked a second round pick. My early prediction is Mac Jones to Pittsburgh after Rodgers retires. Early prediction. Don't hold me to that. I mean, you can. I don't think you're gonna be mad that I got it wrong. I think he makes sense for that Mike McCarthy offense. I just think he's the next Malik Willis in terms of, like, he's shown a little bit of flash as a good player as a backup, and now he's a free agent. He's gonna get a contract. Okay. I will go Michael Pittman here. And you know what? I don't get a chance to take this guy very often at all. Am I gonna do it? No. I'll go running back. I will take Tony Pollard here. See, there's no way they do this. Unless the only way this happens is if Stafford gets hurt, Ty Simpson comes in for him and looks awful, and then Stafford retires. That's the only way they do that. But then even then, give it trade or signing a guy who could get a start. Like, they're not. You'd have to pay him starter money because somebody else will. So you're paying him starter money to compete with your 13th overall pick. It's just, it's a terrible. The Rams are too competent for that much of a media disaster. Like, go wait a year, brother. They might. I don't think Daniel Jones is locked into that job beyond a year, honestly. And Daniel Jones is the exact blueprint, as is Sam Darnold. These are all guys who we thought of the same way we think of Mac Jones. And Mac Jones has 2 years behind Purdy under Shanahan under his belt. Like, it's so clear to me. It's so freaking clear. How much Mac Jones do I have? QB shares. Oh my God. How beautiful is this? You guys see that? Who's at the top there? 8 shares. 1 Mr. Mac McCorkle Jones. 42% exposure. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I promise you guys, here's the thing. Something about me, and I hope you appreciate this genuinely. I don't just say this. I don't just say this shit. I live this. This is what I do. I don't just come out here and be like, hey guys, I really like Jalen Waddle. No, I buy him in 2 leagues. Precisely after being a disaster in Tennessee, right? 2 years under a competent coordinator, and all of a sudden you get starter money. Yeah, I agree, Joe. I think people are being way too harsh on Malik Willis. I think, and you know what's funny? I think it's just because he runs the football. It's like the fact that he's such a big rushing threat makes people think he's a worse passer. Does that make sense? I feel like, yeah, did that? I do this shit. I do, though. I don't just tell you that I like Brian Thomas, okay? I don't just tell you to buy Brian Thomas, okay? I have 5 shares of him. I don't just tell you Travis Hunter is the best value in Dynasty. I have 7 shares. We don't need to talk about Rashee Rice, okay? But I don't just tell you that Jameson Williams is the best value in Dynasty. Like my money is relying on me being right as much as my reputation is. So if you ever want to know, hey, you know, Sam's telling me to do this. Sammy's telling me to buy this player. Would he buy this player? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Mark says he regrets taking Love with how late Baker fell. Yeah, that would have been nice. If you look at like the 2-for-2s here, you could have had Javonte Baker or Love Tootin. And I clearly like Javonte Baker there. Okay, I am going to make my last pick here. We'll look at the results, and then I will answer some questions in the chat if anybody has them. I'll stay on until all the questions are answered or until we hit 10 p.m. Actually, no, I'm going to answer all the questions, regardless of what time we hit. Okay, let's take a shot on Bill with the 12-12. I would like to look at a post-draft review here. Lose wins this one. Gibbs CD is a really nice start to get. You get Loveland and Warren Burden. Mendoza Goff were good values. Lou killing it. Me, myself. So I went Caleb Hurts. Love the quarterback room, obviously. Yeah, running back room. I really like the top 3 wide receivers. Bowers, of course. Love Michael Pittman, too. Really like the value. Heck yeah. Okay, let's go through these questions. Likely going to be good with the Giants. I don't expect Likely to be much better than he was as a Raven, honestly. Maybe the target consolidates a little more, like with the contract, but I mean, it's not like he was ever competing with anybody besides Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers. Theo Johnson is worse than Mark Andrews. Malik Neighbors is better than Zay Flowers. I don't have huge expectations. Hey man, that's literally me, dude. Joe, yeah, he's only improved. I completely agree. It's such a small sample, and I think I only mean, like, I think people see him. Yeah, exactly this. I think people see him as Fields. And it's kind of like a fantasy versus real life thing. Whereas, like, I guarantee you, Mac Jones, who has maybe shown a little more, but I think people are going to be less concerned about Mac Jones getting benched than they are about Malik Willis. Would be my prediction. Parker's a Dolphins fan, even though we're going to be terrible. I love Malik, yeah. Quinn Ewers is the backup, right? And this coaching staff didn't draft him. Are they going to feel a huge need to get a look at him? In a lost season, I don't think it's impossible that Malik misses out on the last few weeks. It's tough, though. It's tough. Lego says, this is why I have 92% floor. No, hey, man, I mean, that's a perfectly fine player to have 92% of. Again, 83%. I mean, these are cheap players. I don't think I'm that high on anybody. My highest exposure is 47%. And you can actually see it's Jack Endries. rookie tight end for the Bengals. Yeah. Who do you think best pick in the draft is? Oh my gosh. Best pick on the entire board? If you go by ADP, I think I might say Jameson Williams. I think Jameson Williams is potentially the most... Obviously, I took him at wide receiver 28. He's not, like, valued at wide receiver 28. I think he might be the most mispriced player in Dynasty. Other than that, let's make a pick. Let's do a pick I didn't make. Loveland, Daniels, Loveland, really good picks. Yeah. Colin likes his team now way better than the last draft. Let's look at it. Amon-Ra, Jefferson, Pickens, love the start. Dak and Shuck as your quarterbacks is solid. Henry, Jacobs, Harvey, Gaz at tight end. Yeah, this is a really nice team. Balanced, super solid. 67% Olave. Yeah, that's a big stance. I mean, if that's all from before last season, obviously that turned out phenomenal for you. In redraft, best pick on in the draft. So currently, I'm drafting on Underdog. Best pick on the board in Underdog drafts. Oh, Travis Hunter. That was actually easy. Travis Hunter is the best pick on the board. If you combine value, upside, everything, I think Travis Hunter is the best pick on the board. Just the fact that he's going in like the 12th round and he's like, to me, that just assumes that he's playing 25% of snaps. I think the likelihood is much higher that he's 50 plus. Much, much higher. Thoughts on Jalen Naylor? I don't have many. He's a guy who plays wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders and got a decent contract and probably won't live up to the contract and will be replaced at the first possible moment. I think is how I feel about Jalen Naylor. Make myself a little bit smaller there. KT Aggie, thank you for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Who do you like more, Claire or Raritan? Claire. Better prospect. I know, like, Raritan's path to production is probably a little better. Better prospect for Claire. I don't love the tight end situation on the Rams, but it's still the Rams. And I'm not gonna, a year from now, Tyler Higbee could be gone. Colby Parkinson could be gone, right? Like, a lot of things can happen. Which team is more likely to win their way out of drafting a top quarterback next year? The Jets, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns. It's not the Jets because they have 3 first-round picks. I think the Jets have the highest chance to... Like, if I had to order these teams, I'd say the Jets are the best roster. But they have 3 first-round picks, so I'm not worried about them, ending up at 9 because I think that they have the capital to trade up. So win their way out of drafting a top quarterback. God, these teams all suck. Jeez, man. I think the Dolphins. I'm going to say the Dolphins because they have the best quarterback here, I think. That's what I would say. Like, Joe, I would tend to agree with you, but the Malik Willis contract is like, it's not a ton of guarantees. And it also doesn't sink them if they don't commit to him long term. Like, if he doesn't play for, like, I don't know what the cutting situation is, but it is not whatsoever out of the realm of possibilities that Malik Willis gets benched. I think people would have said the same thing about Justin Fields last year. I said the same thing about Justin Fields last year, that I didn't think it was possible he would get benched for Tyrod Taylor because they gave him $40 million. Bryce Young off of ADP is the best pick on the board. Rice is the best pick on the board. See ya, Colin. Thank you for hanging out, man. If you had a super team in a shallow 8-team start 13 one quarterback league, 8 teams start 13, would you trade Algier and 228? Oh my god! I mean, this might be the lowest stakes trade of all time. Sure, yeah, backup running back for 2/3. Sure, I can't. If you want to do this, I do not see a problem with it. Raiders do need this. Raiders need a big wide receiver one. I hope Jack Besh does something, man. I can't. It would pain me so much if his career if he never gets a shot. I just want to see him get a shot, He deserves that. Like Go says, he has Daniels Allen, Caleb, and Stroud. Jesus. Yeah, do whatever you want, man. Your team's your team's phenomenal. I don't think Tyler Algier is gonna sink or swim this roster. Yeah. Jets do have the 3 first rounders. So while I think that they are the best team, their defense sucks. Their coaching staff is atrocious. It is still the Jets. It is still Geno Smith. So I think that they'll be fine to maneuver the draft regardless of where they land, honestly. Plus, like, they have the Colts pick. That is not a team that is guaranteed to make the playoffs. So they could have like 2 top 12 picks. This team is unbelievable. I mean, dude, why do they even play with you? Ladd is your wide receiver 8. What do you think is the best spot to pick from in a redraft league? Honestly, right now I would say the 101 or the 102. Just based on the underdog drafts, obviously ADP for redraft is going to be different. But subscribe to the channel, Braden. You actually must be because you're in the chat. Stay tuned because that will definitely be something that I make a video about. Looking at the draft slots, what draft slot is best. Right now I'm thinking 101, 102 just because Bijan and Gibbs are so far and away from me the best assets on the board. And I really like the 2-3 turn, and I really like the 4-5 turn in underdog. Santana in a start 2 tight end league and tight end 2 PPR for tight ends. What approximate round do you see Warren and Kraft go? Oh my gosh. So it's start 2 tight ends, and it's a 2 PPR for tight ends, so a full point premium. Jeez, man. I mean, I would take Bowers alongside Puka and JSN. I'd take McBride alongside, like, Neighbors. Loveland probably along, like, ahead of London in, like, the Lamb-Jefferson tier. So you're probably pushing Warren up to the 3rd round. Kraft probably to the 4th, I think. I wouldn't go insane, like the tight ends are all that matters. One thing that I do to get acclimated to those types of weird scoring formats is just on Sleeper. If you just go to the players tab, then you hit leaders in that league, it shows the scoring format for that league. So you can kind of see, okay, McBride's crazy season last year, how did that compare to the elite wide receivers? Okay, Harold Fannin put up 10 points per game in PPR. What did he do in this league? Was that how does that compare to a top 12 wide receiver? Those kinds of things, and then you can gauge it from there. Are there any new Dino startups that I'll be joining? At the moment, I don't plan to. Doing leagues with members of my community that watch my content is definitely something I want to do in the future. But I think that, that's not something I'm going to do this offseason. And I don't know if I'll join. I mean, if Zach wants to join another startup with the guys on his channel, then maybe I'll do that. We'll have to see. Dynasty Flock back. Have you streamed yet, Mason? Or are the Thunder playing? McBride would absolutely outscore every wide receiver there. Like, that's the thing. I would take Bowers. I might take him over all the wide receivers in that format because you need 2 and they score more. Both of those things give a big boost to tight ends. So yeah, McBride would have crushed every wide receiver last year. And the fact that you need to start 2 of them, like all the depth tight ends should move up the board as well. Like everybody gets like a 2-round boost. Josh Downs to the moon. We'll have to see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he'll have the opportunity to play outside in 2 wide receiver sets on the boundary. Will he do anything with it? I don't know. Can he survive out there? I don't know. A lot of like his production, his theoretical production would still be in the same area that Tyler Warren is operating. And that's where I'd be like, I think Tyler Warren's probably just better after the catch in that area. So it's tough for Josh Downs. But they're giving him the the opportunity, it seems. You are very welcome, Santana. Mason is waiting for the game to end. What? How much is left in that? Is it almost over? Let me see. Oh, it's not even Spurs Thunder today. It's Knicks Cavs. About to go into the fourth. Brock, what's going on? In my half-point tight end premium last year, McBride was dropping like 28. Yeah, McBride was nuts. Even in a half-point, he was like elite. I mean, where does he rank in just PPR? What am I doing? Let's go skill position, fantasy points per game. He was 12th in PPR. Okay, Ray Davis. What the heck is going on with Ray Davis? He didn't even play. He played in 2025. Okay, I'm gonna have to send this over to the devs. Something's going on with Ray Davis. But McBride would have been 11th. And that's no premium. Like you give him a half point. He caught 126 passes. So that's what? That's 63 extra points in a half point premium. So you add 63 points to his total. So 315.9 plus 63, that's 378 in 17 games, 22.3 points per game. Half point tight end premium, he was the third highest point scorer. Only behind McCaffrey and Puka in points per game. Insane. Yeah, Mason's probably going to go live as soon as the basketball game ends. I'm not convinced Daniel Jones. Dude, quarterbacks have never looked good off Achilles tears. Oh, you mean the best 4 players in fantasy? I can imagine. I can imagine. Brock is with it. Brock knows ball. It scares me, man. It scares me for JT. Yeah, Ray Davis should definitely be rostered. All right. I really appreciate you all for hanging out with me this evening. Before we get out of here, Dynasty channel. I will put the link in the chat one more time. Go subscribe to the Dynasty channel. Going forward, all of my Dynasty content will be on the same exact Dynasty channel as opposed to the Fantasy channel. The redraft stuff will be over here. Splitting those two up as we head into the 2026 season. So yeah, go subscribe over there. Make sure you don't miss any Dynasty content once the redraft season sort of ramps up here. Also, if you haven't already, go check out the buys video. My 5 favorite buys on the market right now, starting with Emeka Egbuka. So yeah, go check that out. And on Monday, I will have quarterback rankings coming out. And then next Friday will be another collab video with my guy Dynasty Price Check. We did a rookie mock draft just before the draft. And we're going to be doing another video together looking at year 2 outlooks for players. So all the sophomores, the 2025 class, their projections going into year 2. That will be out next week as well. So lots of content coming. First redraft video of the year will be out June 1st as well. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you subscribe, like the stream on your way out. And appreciate you. Let God. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. All love. I'll catch you all next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern.